Just want to see whether you're paying attention. Alright, jokes aside. Alright, my name is Edmund and welcome to this special video. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing you a unique case study on how my clients and I made $100,000 and more than that using a product launch technique. So what I'm about to share you is something that I've been doing across all my other products for the last many years that I have lost count of them. And of course, not every one of them makes the same amount of money, but most of them have been wildly profitable. Alright, so this is not theory or fluff or anything like that, or it's plucked out from the sky. It's something that my team and I have been doing like clockwork, and I've taught all my clients and students to do the same. Alright, so before I begin though, I think it's really important to put out an income disclaimer. What I'm about to share with you is not an insinuation or an implication that you're going to be making the same amount of money, because truth to be told, I do not know who's watching this video. There's a high chance that I do not know you personally, what you do in your privacy. Are you a committed person? Do you do what needs to be done? And how serious you are about achieving success? So notwithstanding all these other factors, you might make less, you might make the same, or you might even make more than this. And I am not embarrassed to admit that I have taught students who have used the same techniques and make more money than myself. And I think that's a really wonderful thing, because it goes to show that this absolutely works. Alright, so just want to put that off the table and just get it off my chest right now. And let's begin, shall we? Okay, so you might have heard about doing a product launch. And if you're entertaining the idea of turning your ideas into cash, or taking your existing products and do a launch with it, then I think you're gonna absolutely want to look forward to this one. You see, every time I do a product launch, I always approach it as if I'm a movie director. Alright, and why so? Now a lot of people might have their own takes on what it's like doing a product launch, but to me, I see it like I'm putting out a movie over there. And what do all these movie directors or the marketing team always do? So when they create the movie or finish making it, they don't just put it out right away, alright? Just think about some of the best movies with the highest grossing sales in the history of the world so far. Just imagine if all they did was, alright, we've just done the movie, we're just going to put it out there right away. No warning, no preempting whatsoever, no buzz generation, alright? Yeah, they probably might make some sales, but it wouldn't gross as much as they would if they didn't pre-frame everyone or their target audience on what's about to come. So this is why you see a lot of teasers, a lot of pre-launch marketing efforts going on. So it comes in the form of teasers, word of mouth on the internet, leaked interviews, social media right now, and things like that. Okay, so they prepare everyone for the major opening day, and it is no surprise why the first 1 or 2 weeks they always have this blockbuster run where they make most of the sales. All right. And after the whole heat is gone, they'll take the money that they've made. They could either start off a sequel or use it to continue marketing that movie or the film through other means. It could be post to home and things like that. Alright? So I want you to think about your product launch in the same vein as well. And this is no different. So in this particular case study, I was working with 2 other clients who wanted to launch a cover building software. Alright, again, this method here works for not only software, it also works with information products. And I think with information products, that's just wonderful. Alright, so here's the thing though, these 2 people are talented ladies and they wanted to launch a cover building software. So, okay, I've got some of my notes here so I don't get too off topic whatsoever. Alright, I'll just prep you what to expect here, right? Not only am I going to show you the case study of what they've been doing to make their launch successful, I'll also show you some of the pitfalls that quite some marketers typically make and how you can avoid them as well. Alright, so let's get started. So when they approached me and they talked about this cover building software, so I'm just going to draw this thing here. This is just imagine this is the software itself, alright? So, alright, most people, when they do a product launch for the first time, they normally neglect doing a research. In fact, before this cover building software, they were having some other graphic design ideas because they're both graphic designers by trade. So here's the thing though, as a marketer, I don't think in terms of the product first, alright? You have to see demand first. Always look for a problem with the intention of solving it. That's my core belief, because you don't want to be doing an entire launch. I'm just going to tell you as it is. It can get tiring doing a launch and putting everything together. All right. And I think the worst thing that can happen to you right now is working so hard, and when you launch this product of yours, you find out that only 10 people in the world want that. All right. And that's going to be really sad. And take it from first-hand experience. That was what happened to me last time, when I worked very hard creating an information product, and only to find out that only a very few people in the world wanted it, and that really sucked. Okay, so I don't want anybody to go through that. It's really, really heartbreaking, and it's quite depressing. Okay, so when they suggested doing a graphic design product of some kind, the first thing I look at is I want to see whether there's a demand for it out there. Okay, and I found out, true enough, there is. People want easier ways to create their own covers, because anyone who launches a product out there, or they want to have their own information product, they normally need to have a digital cover of some kind. Okay, so cool. So we're very sure that there are people like that who wants to have easier way to create their own covers. All right, so there is some merits for this to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to call it cover design software. Okay, I'm just going to write it here, cover design app. Okay, because it's a web-based app. All right, web-based app. So here's the thing. This is not a unique idea. There are already other cover design solutions in existence. Okay, now there's a very high chance that whatever you're going to come up with, somewhere in the world or somewhere on the internet, they already have that idea. That's a very high chance. And to me, that's not a bad thing actually, because it shows that there's probably demand. All right, if there are a lot of people buying that particular product, service, software, whatever, it goes to show that there is demand. All right. I don't believe in creating demand, to be very frank, because I believe creating demand is a job for big companies. Let them do that. Let them do the awareness creation campaigns and all that, and that's something a big company should do. But if you are working in a small company, or you're working alone, it's a lot easier for you to cater to an existing demand than creating one. So even to this day, I don't create demands. I see what existing demands out there, and then I just cater to them if I could. Alright, and I think it's a lot easier that way, because there's a lot of demands out there. Alright, there's a lot of problems out there that needs to be solved, and people are willing to pay for it. So cover design is one of them. Alright, but as I said, it's not a unique solution. There are a lot of people out there, or quite a few solutions we saw out there that's doing the same thing. So what makes this different? So that's mistake number one for a lot of people, because you don't want to be launching a product or a generic offer that does the same thing, and you don't want to just go based on it being cheaper. Okay, I'm not against people charging low, but if all you do is compete based on price, then it's going to be a struggling war. It's not going to be profitable. And look, anybody with half a brain can just lower their prices. Okay, so you don't want to be doing that. Okay, so I spoke to my two clients over here, and I asked, very simple, can you share me one or two things that makes your cover design app different from the rest that's in the market right now? And we're going to use that as the selling point. Okay, so they couldn't come up with any, so I looked into their software, and they were still open for it to be developed, and I'm involved in it as well anyways. All right, so at that point in time, we found out two really important things. Okay, number one is that the direct competitor at that time had not so many templates or cover design styles. All right, I think they had only like 16 or so. So we came up with 32. That's double or twice the number of collections. So one way you can fight is on a commodity basis. That means quantity. We have more. Okay, more is better. That's one way of playing the game. All right, but at the same time, I don't think you should always hinge on the commodity game, because in the long run, you might come across competitors who are willing to outwork you as well, or they just have more leverage. So although the cover design app had the most cover design styles, even to this day, as of the time of this video, we didn't want to use that as the only selling point. So I asked for a second point as well, like what makes this special and unique from the other cover design apps out there. So there weren't really many in the market at that point in time. I do not know about right now, but at that point in time, not so many. Okay, so the other selling point was photorealistic mockups. So at that point in time, there were no other cover design softwares that came up with photorealistic mockups. So basically, mockups are like, you know, you can have a glass here, and you can just put a design around it or on shirts whatsoever, or billboards. But of course, the billboard doesn't exist, but you can put any design you want and it'll just exist, okay, in the cover design format. So we didn't see anybody else doing such a thing, and they were capable of producing that. So it became the first of its kind cover design app that's capable of producing photorealistic mock-ups. So that makes it different from the others. So I want you to think about one or two things that makes your offer or your product or service different from what's being offered in the marketplace. So don't worry about it being competitive and things like that. I mean, if you look at cars, it's a very competitive business as well. Competitions between brands like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, and many, many more, okay? So you can see that they all have their own niches, their own target audience, and they have their own message that they present to who they want to reach out to, all right? So even they have to come up with something that's unique, all right? We call it USP or unique selling proposition. But in simpler terms, you want to come up with one or two things that makes your offer special or different from the others, okay? And if you really can't come up with that, I think the next best thing is to come up with a story to tell, and that makes your offer different from the others. But in this case, it's a cover design software app, so people are more interested in the features rather than the story. Okay, so they were pricing it at that point in time $37. Okay, and then I think it's gone up to like $47 by now. All right, $37 to $47. So here's the thing. And another mistake a lot of people make as well is that if all you do today is have one product, then it's going to be a struggle, in fact a loss, when you launch it, because the only chance of you making money right now is just from one product, and that's not really smart. And next time when you do paid advertising, you're not even going to break even, because cost of advertising has been going up, all right? And with $37, $47, this is still towards the low ticket area, all right? But we priced it at $37 to $47 at the time. It's because we want to get in a lot of users, and we were going for mass enrollment into the cover design app. And we were also comparing it to the other solutions out there, all right? So here's a very important sales technique that you want to do when you write your sales copy, okay? Because people will naturally think of, is there a better way, is there a faster way compared to the solution you're giving to me right now? So we found out the other solutions out there. One way is that people could buy the program called Adobe Photoshop, and it was already a recurring billing program that you have to pay every single month. So if you like the idea of paying every single month, then well, go for it. But I know most people do not like that, okay? So people don't want that. Another thing is that even with that Adobe Photoshop program, they still have to buy the action scripts that specifically create all these cover designs. So that will send them back another $297 from the time I checked at that point in time. So you're looking like at least $300 plus recurring in terms of cost. What if you need to create even more covers, all right, and things like that? So it's not really an attractive option, and it's also complicated because you need to be really good at using Photoshop for you to be able to know how to make covers. The other alternative is that these people could hire freelancers from Upwork, Fiverr, wherever, okay? And even though it might be affordable, but the thing is that if they are looking to create even more designs, then the cost will definitely go up as well. So this is why we position this cover design at $37 at intro price and retail at $47. So it becomes an attractive and lucrative solution for all these people who are looking to get covers done, all right? So you can see the mindset that I have here when it comes to pricing this offer. Now, of course, we could price it higher than that, but the reason why we want to price it below $50 right now is that we want to get as many customers in as possible, and here's why. Because the next point here, okay, this doesn't have ink here. I'm going to use another one. Okay, you see, when people make a purchase here, all right, remember what I just said just now, if all you do is just sell one product, it's not smart, it's going to be a losing business, and I'm going to talk about this afterwards. Your affiliates will not be happy to promote this because all they do is just earn commission from this offer, and they could be running paid advertising themselves, and they're going to earn half of this. So it's not an attractive solution at all, or an attractive affiliate program. Okay, so what I propose to you is that you have multiple offers, also known as upsells. All right. So after your customers purchase this, okay, so you want to send them to what we call an upsell. All right, but please don't use this word with your customers because people like to buy, they don't like to be sold to. Don't use this word called upsell. You just want to use this for your own internal languages between you and me. All right, so it's called an upsell. So just imagine that when we bought this cover design app, all right, you don't want to send them to a registration page right away. So it goes to a page that goes along the lines of, hey, thank you for your purchase. All right, before you go, I'm just wondering if I could interest you in a special one-time offer. How would you like to upgrade your cover design app to deluxe version? All right, so the deluxe version is an upgrade version with, in this case, there are more templates, but it's up to you. If you're selling an information product of any kind whatsoever, then you'll want to have an advanced version or an upgrade version. And typically, the price should be going up. It shouldn't be dropping down, it should be going up. So in this case, we priced it at $67, all right? And that's inclusive of what I call the mega bonuses for acting right now, all right? So they have one shot at acting on this. Now, take it from me though. Let's just say you have 100 customers buying this cover design app, okay, or whatever the product is, okay, and the first thing they see is this first one-time offer or the upsell, and even if 20% of your customers buy this, that's how much money you make over here. 20%. Actually, it can be higher than that. We've had successful one-time offers where even converted 50%, where every 1 in 2 would buy the upgrade as well. But let's just put 20% right now, so that I want to set expectations for you over here. All right, but if you're doing anything less than 20%, then you need to change the offer and make it better. Okay, could be a different copy, could be a different offer, or maybe it's the price, because most of the time when people don't buy, it's always a price issue. So you can just change it a little bit, but not too much. All right, now here's an interesting thing here, is that, let's see. For those people who choose not to buy this, okay, you've talked to these people, they want to buy, that's cool, but the rest of them are not going to buy, that's still the majority, all right? So there's this thing called the downsell, all right? I'm just going to put this in green so that you know what this is, all right? This is called the downsell. I'm just put DS in short here, a downsell. So a downsell is very easy, all right? Because once you create this page, you can just pretty much clone this and put the same thing over here, except at a lower price this time. So normally I like to knock off about $20, $30. It's totally up to you. I normally like to knock off $20 over here, so it becomes $47. But of course, what makes this different from this is that normally you want to remove some components, or in this case, I will remove the bonuses. So I would position the downsell this way. Wait, don't go yet. I'm going to knock off $20 off your purchase, all right? You get everything you see in the previous page except the mega bonuses. Here's why. Because I don't want to piss off my other customers who are paid in full, all right? And I have to be fair to everyone. So that's say you can still get the upgrade package only without the bonuses, and you get all this at minus $20 off, all right? Here's your last chance to act right now. So you can see that even with a downsell, you could save some sales that you otherwise would have lost. What if you had saved an extra 10% over here? All right. That means in total you are getting 30% of your people, or your customers, to buy something from you extra. Think about it. Let that sink in for a while. Okay. And this upsell technique has been used to a greater extent by a lot of companies. You can see it in the very famous example of McDonald's, where they upsell you. Do you want fries with that? Do you want to supersize this? Do you want dessert with that? You can see this being implemented not in McDonald's, but a lot of successful companies that know how to do marketing and selling. Okay, but it doesn't end here though. Here's the interesting thing. Okay, whether they buy this, or all of them, doesn't matter. Okay, you're gonna send them to another page. Okay, and guess what? This is another upsell. Okay. Now here's the thing about upsells though. Now you can actually have more, like another like 3 or 4. That's totally up to you. But I wouldn't do anything more than 4 upsells, because I think anything more than that is kind of redundant. People get pissed off. So I've tried doing more than 4 before, and I found out people got angry instead. So you don't want to annoy people with too many upsells, right? But I find 3 or 4 is the max I would go. Okay, so this is something that you can look at. But one thing though is that when we talk about upsells, you don't want to be putting out offers for the sake of putting out offers. It's got to be congruent. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of other beginning marketers do is that they try to offer more of the same thing, or worse, offers that are not relevant at all. So you have to understand why people buy your initial offer at first, and what do you think they're going to need next. So you need to think a few steps ahead. Like once they buy this cover design app, like what's next? And you need to see like what other problems they might encounter afterwards, and you can offer to solve them right now. So in this case, we know that people who buy the cover design app usually are interested in graphics, that's for sure. They could be graphics marketers, they could be solo internet marketers as well. So we find them to be the majority of the top people who are going to buy this. Okay, so I advise my clients here that your offers should all be graphics and marketing related. Alright, so this first upsell here is already an upgrade version of this cover design app where you have more templates, a huge library, and that made a lot of sense. So we find that upgrades here are very, they convert very well. Okay, and then next over here, okay, in this case they only had up to upsells. Alright, so in this case they have, because they had created some products in the past, I suggested that they have a licensing deal where their customers could clone their past graphics businesses at a no-brainer price. And I suggested, why don't we put this at $97? We want to make sure that they have to feel very stupid if they pass this up. All right. So we put a licensing deal over here. Okay, where they could get their past graphics products all for one low price over here. Okay. So you can see that there's another opportunity for them to make some more sales over here, because people who buy this might be interested in this as well. All right, and just for the sake of another example, they didn't do this at that time, but I think if they were going to do another run again, they could do this as well, because since then they have produced other software products as well. Okay, and if you have other courses or other similar courses that you've done in the past, you can do something like what we call a bundle over here. All right, it's a very quick way to make money and still give a relevant offer, and you can price it anywhere from like 97 to like 297, totally up to you. All right, so this is how you could actually create a successful funnel and launch this. All right, now at that point in time they didn't have this, and yet the launch did in excess of $100,000 in sales within the first 5 to 6 days. And not only that, because it was launched on JVZoo, it got this award called Pick of the Day. Alright, so Pick of the Day is basically an award given by the marketplace called JVZoo, and what they do is that they will take this offer and promote it to their entire network, so you can count on additional hundreds more sales potentially as well. And speaking of that, because I've launched a lot of products on JVZoo, and we have a lot of products that got Pick of the Day as well. Normally we don't expect like awards or anything like that from marketplace, because we just want to do business and make money. That's about it. Okay, so I got this note from JVZoo some time back as well that acknowledges us as a premium user. Quite a bit here, and we got two shirts over here as well. I'm just going to show you real quick. All right, like this shirt here. All right. And I know just one of our accounts is a premium user, so we've been around for quite some time. We make quite some sales, and we have a positive reputation as a seller. So this one account acknowledges us that we made about $250,000 in sales. All right, and in the second shirt, all right, second one as well, premium user, and $500,000. All right. Now, in actuality, we've made more than that, even by the time the shirts came, because here's the thing: they acknowledged like 250, 500, and then the next one was 1 million, and that account with the $500,000 milestone was actually close to $1 million already. Okay, because we have a few JVZoo accounts here and there, but if you put them all together, it's actually 7 figures already. But I'm not saying this to brag or be aloof or anything like that. I just want to show you what's possible when you do all these launch techniques, and it helps you make a lot of money in a short period of time and go off with a bang over here. All right, so this was what they did to do their launch, but not just yet though. This is just the funnel and the offer creation part. All right, so the next thing though, when it comes to doing the actual launch itself, you see, like when I was using the movies as an example, you know, when you have all this in place, you don't want to just go out and announce, all right, this offer is ready, you can go and promote it right now. It doesn't quite work that way, okay? Just imagine if those movies did that and those directors did what I just told you. I think it's not going to be really, really successful. So what my clients here and I did is that we set a launch date, and we know we envision this to be a really big one, so we set it 3 weeks ahead of time. All right, we set a launch date in advance, 3 weeks. All right, so in that 3 weeks, we recruited as many joint venture partners or JV partners in short to promote this offer. All right, so we approached as many people as we could, and we started approaching the heavyweight internet marketers as well, and with a very good incentive, because this time we were offering a high cash price incentive of $7,000. All right, so we offered cash prizes to the top affiliates for those who are successful and those who made the most sales. Now, if that number scares you right now, like, oh, I don't have like $7,000 laying around or anything like that, well, guess what? Neither do we. Or rather, I would like to say we are not willing to throw that money up front. So don't worry about this kind of numbers, because here's why. All right, you're not taking money out of pocket right away. You're basically taking them from the sales that you make from the launch, and you pay out the affiliates, so you don't have to come up with any money up front. In fact, if that really scares you for now, you can set some kind of a minimum sales contest at the moment, but please be realistic about it. You don't want to set an unrealistic high target and pay a low cash price. That's a very douchey move, so please don't do that. I'm saying it as an affiliate myself, where I see people offer a low cash price contest like $500, and they expect me to do like 100 sales just to make that kind of money, and even I would be turned off as well. So please be realistic with your calculations. But for us, we offered $7,000 in cash prizes because we were eyeing all the heavyweight internet marketers and software marketers in the space here. All right. So I'm going to go with this to the next slide, or rather the flip chart over here. I'll talk about cash prizes. I think this is a very, very powerful motivation. And now, if the idea of putting up $7,000 scares you at the moment, that's totally fine, all right? Like I said, you can offer like $2,000 cash prize, $3,000, and again, this is money you don't have to come up with upfront. You can let the sales from the launch pay off the cash prizes. If you think about it, you do it right, you're actually technically getting paid to build a list. And get this, because you are leveraging on all this JV partners and affiliates, it is free traffic, all right? This is so awesome. I'm just going to write it down here. I'm talking about free traffic. You're basically getting paid to build your list. Now you know why I like doing this particular model, all right? It's for those of you who are afraid of spending too much money on paid advertising. Now, please don't get me wrong. Paid advertising is really important. It has its own place, but if you do a combination of paid advertising and free traffic, like what you're seeing here right now, well, guess what? You only need to pay when your affiliates make sales. If they don't, well, you don't have to pay anything at all. That sounds like a fair deal, don't you agree? So this is what we did here, and in that 3 weeks, we went on a JV recruitment drive where we posted on JV groups on Facebook. We were getting on calls on Skype with as many heavyweights as possible, so we were just hustling on this part. And I advise you not to get lazy on this one, because if you want to get a successful launch, then you definitely need to put in the work that's required of you, all right? And it also builds confidence to your potential JV partners that you're a serious person and this launch is going to be a success, all right? So go on a JV recruitment drive, all right? So where do we get all these JVs, all right? Now, nowadays, I just find them on Facebook. I message them. Ideally, I would like to get on call with them and just talk to them to show them I'm a real person and I do value them working with me. And if they have any launch next time, I could reciprocate with them whatsoever. Okay, so this is what I did with my 2 clients here on this cover design app, and that was how this made $100,000 in this first opening week. And it got not only one JVZoo pick of the day, not only twice, but 3 times in a row. And to this day, there are very, very few products or offers in the JVZoo marketplace that got that many accolades for just one product. All right, so I hope you like what you've heard so far and you've learned a lot. That was what we did here basically. Okay, so one important thing though is this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, all right? And I didn't get to this until in the recent years. Like what happens after the launch? So this is something that even some of the experienced marketers surprisingly making this mistake as well, and I want you to avoid that. You should have a long-term goal even after the launch is over. And remember that movie example I just talked about just now? Well, guess what? What do they do after that? They can either continue marketing it, or they take the profits they made and they just do a sequel, all right? So you don't want the launch to just die off like that, no matter how successful it is, because you don't want to just make the money and then bye-bye everybody, that's about it, and then show's over, all right? So what you just did there is just make money. It's not building a real business. So a couple of things you want to do after the launch, all right? Very important. First thing you want to do is you want to have a back end, all right? If you don't have a back end, then I think you are actually leaving a lot of money on the table. So to me, a backend is quite simply defined as this. It's basically a high-priced offer. It could be a coaching program or a service or a done for you or whatever, okay? You want to have a backend, all right? It's different from the funnel that I showed you just now. And normally this takes place after the whole upsell process. It could be on a download page, it could be through your email series. And what I like to do is to have bonus webinar programs on the back, okay? And I give value to my customers. It also inspires confidence and it minimizes refunds as well, all right? So I do a back end over here. And if any of them would like to follow up and go for an advanced training of some kind, then they would buy this as well. So this is a really important thing you should have in your launch, or rather after the launch. That's one thing, okay? Next thing after this, okay? This is what I would say, continued nurturing, okay? To me, I think it's really, really important, because once they are already on your list, they are your customers right now, and you got a hot list, okay? This is not cold traffic anymore. It's not even warm for the matter. It's hot, and you want to strike while the iron is hot, all right? So you should be at least putting out a few follow-up emails to help your customer consume the product, or rather walk them through how to use it. So in this case of the Carbon Design app, the first 3 days, or rather the first 3 emails that were sent out daily, was to show the customer the intricate features and what tutorials that they need on how to use the software, all right? And I think this also helps inspire confidence, so that your customers know that they are in good hands. It's not just like they buy it and then they're left to their own device. And nobody likes to feel that way. And if you do that, I guarantee you, you definitely minimize your refunds by a huge, huge margin. And what I'm proud to share with you is that in all my launches, our typical refund rate is easily below 5%, all right? In some cases, like just a couple of percent for that matter. Now, there rarely is ever a launch where you can get 0 refunds. It rarely ever happens, although I had some like that. But it's realistic to expect that if you do it right, your refunds will be greatly, significantly less. And this is good for you, because your reputation is mostly positive. Your affiliates and JV partners will be happy, because they get to keep most of their commissions as well, and they know that they're recommending a quality product or service that you are rendering. Okay, so this is one. Another thing is that you can do a sequel. Okay, just like the movies. All right, you have a successful product. Why stop there? All right, now you have all this capital that you have just made. All right, you could. Well, you could spend some of them for yourself. I mean, this is your success. Feel free to splurge a little bit, celebrate, okay? But you could reinvest some of the money here to create the next product and launch, or you can use the capital to continue marketing it long term, even after the launch is over. So the reason why a lot of people are afraid of paid advertising is because they don't have the money, or they're just afraid of spending it. But guess what? If you already do a very successful launch here, you know it's proven, the sales copy converts, well, and you have the cash as well. So what's stopping you right now? You could do paid advertising confidently, because you're already backed by all the data whatsoever. And guess what? If you do Facebook marketing, you already have a hot list of customers that you can create a custom audience and create a lookalike and market to people you have not heard of before. But Facebook will do all the segmenting and targeting on your behalf. Isn't that just wonderful? Now you know why I love doing launches like this, all right? And so did my clients over here, okay? So I hope you like what you heard so far and you've learned a great deal. And here's the thing though, at this point you've got 2 choices, all right? How many choices are there again? 2 choices. Now the first choice is that you can try and figure everything out by yourself and do yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But here's the thing though, doing a launch is like any other business. There's going to be quite some learning curves and things that you have to go through yourself. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I noticed that when my clients come and approach me, they were sick and tired of trying to figure everything out by themselves. Because here's the thing, nobody likes rude surprises. And after working so hard or putting the whole launch together, and it produces dismal results, like they don't even know what to do next. Do they do it all over again, or do they relaunch it, or change a little bit here and there and things like that? Okay, so personally I've been able to help quite some clients like these two ladies I just talked to you about to produce highly successful launches and continuously market it even after the launch is over. All right, so here's the thing though, because of this whole thing, right, that I have clients pay me anywhere from $10,000 to even $35,000, not only for me to coach them one-on-one, but to also help them launch their product. All right, and get this, at that time I didn't even have an online training program with all the tutorials set in place. It's just me getting on a call with them, telling them what to do step by step. All right, but this is going to be good news for you right now, because here's the thing. With your permission, I just want to introduce to you what I call the Launch Prodigy Training Program. Okay, so that's Launch Prodigy. Let me just write this down. Okay, show you what it is. So this is something, again, it wasn't here before, and until now it is. So I'm going to just write this out here. I call this program the Launch Prodigy. All right. So what is the Launch Prodigy? So basically, I've already recorded the step-by-step training videos, all right, the way I'm teaching you right now, except this is more detailed every step of the way, from coming up with the ideas to coming up with an offer, or rather let someone else do it, I'll show you how that's done, to launching the product for massive paydays. All right, so this is a 3-month program. All right, so how many months is that again? This is going to be 3 months. Now the reason why I say 3 months is because everybody learns at a varying pace. All right, so it's a 3-month program, not too short, not too long as well. All right, 3-month program, and in 3 months I show you how to take an idea and launch it for massive paydays, and what to do even after the launch is over. All right, so this skill that I'm about to show you took me years to perfect and improvise it as well along the way. So you're looking at the final results. All this in the form of my online training program, which you can see below this video what it's all about. But if I can just walk you through really quick, all right, what you learned in the first 3 months. So in the first month, all right, I do this whole program with the assumption that you are a newbie, and I strip off any technical jargons as much as possible. All right, so I keep this as layman as I possibly could. And so within the first month, I'm going to show you how to come up with a profitable idea, and you're going to do some simple research. All right, you're not going to spend too much time doing the research, but enough that you know that the product is worth creating. Because last thing you want to do is come up with a very stale or silly idea, or a generic idea at worst, at best. Okay, and launch it, and then it doesn't get a lot of traction or results. You want to avoid that. Okay, I've seen that happen to so many people out there. All right, and they just didn't know better, and maybe because they're not watching this video. All right, so in the first month I show you how to get that done. And even if you are working alone, in fact I'm doing this with the assumption that you are working alone, but if you have a team or anything like that, then good for you, that is an advantage. But if you're working alone, don't worry, I'll show you how to be that idea master and let somebody else do it for an affordable fee. All right, so you let somebody else do it. In fact, last time I was working alone, that was the method I did as well before I had my own team. All right, so that's what you do in the first month. I'll also show you how to position your offer and how to sell. So if you have not written a sales copy or anything like that before, don't worry, I'll give you a crash course on that one as well. You don't need to spend years on how to write copy. In fact, all the copywriters who have joined my company have previously been either fresh graduates or no past experience, and usually I train them up pretty fast. So I'll cover all this in the first month, all right? Then by month 2, I'll show you how to actually launch the product and how to approach potential JV partners, even though this is your first time doing it, all right? So I know this part might be intimidating for quite some people, and I understand that. I mean, I don't know whether you notice it or not, I'm actually an introvert. That's my social preference. It doesn't mean I can't speak on stage or anything like that, but given a choice, I don't really like to talk to people right off the bat. I like to just be in front of a computer or playing computer games. That's just who I am, okay? But I'll show you how to approach all these people effectively, and if you have tried to do this before and you failed, don't worry about that, because there's a high chance that you're doing what everybody else is doing and that's why you failed. And I'll show you why my approach is different and how you can catch their attention. Alright? And then finally on the third month, you actually launch the product, and most importantly, what do you do after the launch is over to continuously make the money roll in? Alright? So all this is basically this. Alright? Let's talk about outcomes. Alright? Why are you doing all this? Okay, I don't want you to get so caught up with all this technical methods and all that. So let's talk about outcome. Very important. Okay? What can we get out of this? So first and foremost, why do a launch? Alright? Let's talk about first outcome here. I think the first very obvious one is massive cash flow. Alright, I'm going to just draw all the dollar notes here. Love the side of it. Alright. Massive cash flow. Because yes, it's a very simple thing, alright? Do you want to make $10,000 right now or the next 1 year? So obviously you want to make the $10,000 right now. That's faster because money loves speed. If you have $10,000 right now, you can do quite some things. But imagine if you got that same $10,000 but it took you a year to get it, then obviously that's very slow and there's nothing much you can do. Alright? So cash flow to me is a very, very important thing because cash flow is king here. Alright? So here's the thing. I talk about a $100,000 case study, okay? But like I say, not everybody makes that kind of money. You might make less, you might make the same, you might make more, okay? But let's just say you make half of that, or even 10% of that, okay? Let's just go with 10% of that. And that coincidentally is $10,000. And I think it's really interesting to mention $10,000 because I've gotten quite a number of calls by now with coaching clients that are consulted in my one-on-one strategy sessions, and a lot of them have stated that their beginning income goal is normally $10,000 a month. So I think it's safe to say that $10,000 is an income goal that a lot of beginners tend to strive. So let's just say you're coming up with a launch, and the worst that could happen right now is you make $10,000, alright? Is that still good money somehow? It sure is, alright? Because I'd rather you make $10,000 in the next 1 or 2 weeks of the launch than not at all, alright? And if there are going to be 30 days in a month, get this, alright? In 30 days in a month, if you spend the first 5 to 7 days launching a product and make $10,000, well, guess what? That leaves you with the rest of the time to make more money elsewhere. Alright? So talk about multiple income streams, and that list that you had just acquired is a hot buyers list. You can mail them on your follow-up offers or promote other people's products as an affiliate, and you earn commissions and you earn even more as well. Okay, so that's one. I think the next important thing here let's talk about is the buyers list. Okay, so this is another great outcome. You're not building some kind of freebie list from all this very poorly targeted or poorly built or poor quality leads at all. These are red hot quality leads, and the customer list is the best kind of list you could ever build. Alright, so these are people who have clearly bought from you before and they are definitely willing to spend. Alright, to me this is a huge gold mine. Of everything here, I will value this more than even this. I'll let you know that. This is why there's some people out there or some businesses out there, they would rather do a loss leader so they can build a database of buyers first so they can push all the other back-end offers afterwards. That's what some companies actually do. Alright, next up. Okay, you might not ask for this, but how would you like to be seen as like some kind of like a superstar guru? Alright, so I just call it guru status. I know this might sound weird to you right now. Maybe you don't see yourself that way or you don't want to be like that. Okay, but you know what? I would say this is a very good bonus perk, alright? Because last time when I set out to be an internet marketer and I just want to make money online, I didn't care about being famous or anything like that. I still am not famous, okay? But I didn't ask to be a guru or anything like that. And when I started doing product launches, I noticed that people, the way they talk to me is like, oh, you must be the expert, or they make the assumption that I'm an internet marketing guru expert, even though at that point in time, I was just like 1 year into the business and I just made like one launch or so and people called me an expert right away. So I think for a newbie at the time, it felt good, but I wasn't sure whether I should dispel that notion or not, so I just kind of kept it to myself, okay? So you might experience this later on as well. That could be an outcome as well. And get this, it's a lot easier to do business or get a sale if people already heard of you and they trust you in advance. Isn't that just wonderful? All right, so I would think this is a very good outcome as well when you do successful launches. People automatically perceive you as an internet marketing expert or a leader in your niche. All right, so these are some really great outcomes you can look at. Okay, and when you start making money like this, you have a buyer's list, you've got a cash, you've got the internet marketing leader status and things like that. Well, what can you do with all of this? Okay. Okay, for one, with this money you've made here, let's talk a little bit about some selfish things, right? When you make a lot of money from your launch, could you afford to splash a little bit? Could you pay your bills on time? Or when you do shopping, you don't actually have to look at a price tag. That was what I experienced last time when I first did a successful launch, and for the first time, that was how I felt, and it was rather liberating, okay? So let's talk about financial freedom. That's why we're doing this, okay? Financial freedom. Alright, so this is one thing to look at. So next, you've got a buyer's list and you've got all this, okay? Do you think we could create a sequel offer? I mean, if this launch does very well, why don't you want to do more? Alright, could we do a sequel? Okay, you've heard of movie directors doing sequels or they come with other movies because of the success of the previous one. So I don't think you should kill the momentum, you should continue the momentum. Do sequel launches, alright? People like from you, they like to hear from you already. You got the attention. I think you should continue as well. Alright? Then you can continue marketing as well. Alright? If this doesn't sound exciting, that's okay. You can continuously market your current offer because the sales copy is proven. You've got the money to increase the exposure. You can do paid advertising by now. Alright? So there's a lot of things you can do over here. Okay, so I want to leave this to your imagination of what it's like doing a successful product launch, or rather mini as well. There's a lot of things you can look at, all right? And this is why I came up with the Launch Prodigy training program. So it's a 3-month training program on taking you by the hand from zero to hero when it comes to doing launches, all right? So if you look below this video, the details are there right now. And the good news is that unlike my clients that I had charged on a one-on-one basis, like $10,000 all the way up to $35,000, if you look below this video, or rather you look at the order form, it's nothing anywhere near that at all. And it's a lot more organized, and the reason why I'm charging it a lot less than what I did with my one-on-one clients, because let's just be very frank with each other, okay? With them, it was a one-on-one attention. That means I actually was there with them most, if not all the time, until they succeeded, all right? So that's why they paid that kind of fee with me. Okay, but right now, I understand that not everybody has $10,000 or like $35,000 laying around. Not everybody has that. And even for me, even though to me as a consultant, that's a really good money, but it does take up a lot of my time, to be very frank, and I don't quite like that, even though it pays very well. So what I did here is that I created the Launch Prodigy training program, and you can see that I'm like democratizing the knowledge here through this training program. So all you got to do is just get your instant access and jump straight into the monthly training program for the next 3 months, all right? It's not a ongoing thing like next 12 months or 24 months. Don't worry about it. You'll get everything you need to know within 3 months or less, all right? And I'll walk you through the steps from beginning to the end on how to do your launch successfully, all right? And even after that as well, okay? So I think that's really important, and also it's also worth mentioning that this is going to be a lifetime access. And what this means to say is that once you enroll, every now and then, my team and I, we update the training as well, because let's be real, okay? Some things on the internet change every now and then. Maybe not the way of Forex or currency trading where the price keeps going up and down. It's nothing quite like that. But maybe every couple of months, every few months, some small little details might change a little bit here and there. And I'm always on the forefront of internet marketing to see what's going on, okay? And I will update the training as time goes on. So you will get the benefits of the updated training, and maybe you could help me be on the lookout as well. If you see like some things have changed a little bit, just let me and my team know. We'll update the training as well, all right? So you don't have to worry about whether you're seeing obsolete information or by the time you join in, it's like content from like 5 years ago or anything like that. So don't worry, you're not going to be seeing those kind of stuff, and we take pride in our training program, okay? And speaking of that, let's talk about help here, all right? So I've also trained my in-house team to do everything that you see on this flip chart so far, and because my team is also available to support you when you enter the members area, you see that there's also a way to contact us if you have any questions with any of the particular training that you're involved in, all right, or any module that you're at. So don't worry, you're in good hands, and that's what I want to let you know, all right? So I want you to enroll right now, and when you see the link below, there is a button to the form, all right? So you see that there are pretty much two options. The first option is that you can pay in full, and the other option is an easy payment plan, all right? But for those of you who choose to pay in full, you see that there is some extra fast action bonuses if you choose to pay in full, and I think those bonuses are worth more than the price I'm asking for, right? And why am I doing this? Very simple. I've already trained a lot more other people before you, and I don't think you're going to be the last, all right? This actually works, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for more testimonials to beef up our credentials as well, right? We already collected some, but we want to collect more as well. And quite simply, I want you to be our next success story, right? So get your instant access to Launch Prodigy training program. It's going to be instant access. Check it out below and get it, right? But here's one thing though, on a last note, right? I think there's a very high chance that by the time you're seeing this, this is still on an intro price at the moment, alright? But I do have plans to increase the price later on, and I reserve the right to do that, okay? So your best bet is to get in right now and avoid paying more. That's all there is to it, alright? So I hope you like watching this video, learning quite a bit there, and if anything you really learn and know more than what most people out there do not, alright? And let's talk about from being interested to being committed right now, alright? And you want to do whatever it takes to succeed. So act right now, and I'll see you inside.